I
Loved
know, it was
it.
great. No, it was funny. I wish we had shows like that. I think it would be impossible almost to make a show like that now because people are just extremely sensitive now. But yeah, at the time, I couldn't get away now with the things that I wrote then. And I wrote for their website for like 6 years, which was a very popular blog. We covered TV, we covered, it was in the time of Britney and Lindsay and all of these people. And it's funny because they took that website off of the internet. And I remember when they did that, I was furious because I poured so much of my time and my heart and work into it. And now I want to kiss the feet of the person who made that decision to remove it because it just get it out. You know what I mean? It's like the internet never forgets, but sometimes it does. And I'm just grateful it did. Just when it came to like the Britney stuff, especially because I love Britney. I really adore her. I want her to be free and be happy. But at the time, the whole site and that show was like, I mean, when she shaved her head and beat that guy with an umbrella, for us, that was like Mecca. We couldn't believe how lucky we got that we could talk about that. And now looking back, it's like, well, obviously she was having a nervous breakdown and that's awful, etc.
You're like, we can talk about this for a really long time. And you did.
I sure did. Yep.
But yeah, sometimes the internet corrects itself, right?
I mean, I don't know. I guess with the story it does, but yeah, for the most part, it doesn't because look at how many people, when you go back to their Twitter from 10 years ago, things haunt them. And that's a whole other conversation, but yeah.
What about all of the other shows you were involved in, like Chelsea Handler and like Tyra? Like, tell me about
What
that.
about them?
What's
What do you
Tyra
want to know?
like?
I need questions.
Well,
What's
tell
Tyra
me,
like?
yeah, what is Tyra like? I mean, I've interviewed like lots of top models, and just, I mean, is Tyra like as intense as everyone that's been on this show says she is?
I'm going to tell you something. I was not on America's Next Top Model, which I know is going to be a major shock to your listener, especially when they Google me. But I was on her talk show, which had, and again, we're talking about the lens, like the lens of watching something back then when her putting a fat suit on and going out and pretending to be a big girl was like, I hate to say it, I don't want to say it was funny, but like she was really trying to prove points. Like Tyra was really trying to prove something. Looking at it now through this new woke lens and through this new thing, it looks horrible for her. Personally, for me, she was always cool to me. I had never had a thing with Tyra, always friendly, chatty during the breaks, which, some hosts are not like that. They like to save everything, obviously, for camera, but I was, yeah, I like Tyra. I mean, listen, that is what made her famous. Like you can't be non-controversial and make it in a way. It's like that, even today, looking back at those clips, I mean, some of them are incredibly cringy. I can't even believe the things that she got away with, but that's what made her good TV even then, because it's like, the fuck is she doing? And she did it, and she was, I'm sure even now, she would apologize for certain things. The way that she treated a lot of those models on Next Top Model was heinous, and I don't know. But personally, I like her.
Do you like Tyra on Dancing with the Stars? Do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
I don't watch it. No, do you watch it?
I don't watch it anymore. I watched it, it was one of those I watched back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
What about, I know you, before you got your permanent job on The View, you had lots of guest appearances. So how was working with like Barbara Walters, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Rosie? I know you like actual questions. These are my actual questions.
Once again, to prove, I actually never worked with any of those women because I was on with Whoopi and everything else. So Barbara, I did meet.
But like when you guested, I thought you worked with some of them, like before you got your
Rosie and Elizabeth were off. It was Whoopi and Nicole Wallace, who was lovely. Rosie Perez, lovely. Yeah, I mean, it was a dream come true. What's to say about it? It was wonderful.
How was working like when you got the job at The View? I mean, I read, this is not Wikipedia, I just read that you were
I'm joking with, can I be funny?
Yes, you can be funny. God, look at how sensitive I got. Wow, we went from like moving in.
I know, I'm like, listen, David, no, I'm just saying, David, relax. Yeah, go
on. No, when you were there, like, I read that you got hazed. Like, was that the type? Like,
no, you're taking it out of context. I made a joke on the red carpet with some interviewer. I don't remember who it was. I'm sure a lovely person. And I just made a joke being like, oh, the hazing was brutal, because everyone wants to know shit about The View. Don't come to me. I'm not going to be the one to tell you. I swear to you, I'm not. That's why I'm professional. And it's why I keep working, because that was a joke that I made, which was then turned into a headline. Michelle got hazed at The View. No, I was one of the luckiest people in the world. I got this job. I got a seat at a at a table that people would kill for even a day on that show, to be on that show. The fact that I was made a host, despite whatever happened, uh, there's no way that I can really spin it in a negative way. I'm grateful for it because honestly, I have my show now at Sirius. Would never have happened without The View. And I love my job now. I'm one of the luckiest people in the business. I really mean that. It's just a phenomenal place, a ton of freedom. They let me be myself. They let me be funny. And that's unheard of, frankly. So I have The View to thank for that. That's really true. And everyone was nice. I got along with Whoopi. I love, obviously. She's the best and was so supportive of me. It was good. I'm not a drama girl. I don't like to have shit with people. That's not how I operate, truly.
And like the media, like you said, like you say one thing and it becomes a headline and then people run with it.
Well, that's everything. Yeah.
But I would think The View would be a dream job. Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Listen, one day I'll write a book. I'll put it that way. If I have stories, I'm not going to be revealing them on a podcast, which I'm unpaid for. The good stories I have, I'll get a check for. That's what I'll say about it. You get it. But overall, I have released all bitterness. There's nothing. It was a wonderful experience for me, really.